Welcome to yet another exclusive interview here at Hi TV. And today we are joined by the Director of IIHS, Dr. Kitsiri Edrisinghe, and the Head of Academics here at IIHS, Dr. Dinusha Kanativela. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you feeling?
We're doing good, thank you.
Okay, so to start off this interview, I would like to just get your thoughts on, IIHS has been a premier in healthcare education for the past 2 decades here in Sri Lanka. So how was this concept initiated?
Well, 20 years ago, our founder Dr. Nihal De Silva and Dr. Leonardo Edrisinghe and few other medical and other professionals thought it's time that we would export skilled labor. So as you all know, we have 600,000 housemaids working in Middle East and brings out about more than 100 billion rupees to Sri Lanka. That's one of the third or fourth largest foreign remittance to the country. Having a literacy rate of very high literacy rate in South Asia, there's something wrong in this. So they thought, why not we train people for the foreign countries, foreign jobs, and export skilled labor. With that mindset, we've worked on last 20 years how we could how our youth could attract or get into these jobs. Then we found that to get into especially healthcare jobs, we are in a healthcare industry, you need an international qualification. We are recognized by the respective nursing boards, physiotherapy boards, and respective professional boards. Then what we did was we created a platform called International University Learning Center, and that would envisage for these students to obtain a foreign degree at a very affordable price. So from this concept, we've got Deakin University in Australia, Edith Cowan University, and then James Cook University in Australia from Australian contingent, and then of course Finland, Metropolia University in Finland, UK University of Aberdeen and Coventry University of UK, and then Open University Malaysia. So they are very highly ranked universities, like top 10 kind of universities, and their qualifications are recognized by respective nursing boards and the other professional boards. So we slowly but surely we've put our systems together, and then with this International University Center we have graduated over 2,000 students. 1,500 are government nurses, and the others have gone out of the country, youth, and then they have grabbed all the jobs and working all over the world.
You briefly mentioned the international qualifications that is available for the students here at IIHS. So what is the unique selling proposition that students will have against other maybe international students?
It's indeed a very good question. When you look at international job opportunities for healthcare professionals, we have about 10 million nursing jobs for nurses in the first world. And then similarly for healthcare administrators, physiotherapists, and their biomedical scientists, for them also there's about 500,000 each. There's a fair amount of jobs available. So at IIHS, what we do is we first include everyone. As you know, our education system is organized by exclusion. Only few could get into this system, others are excluded. What IIHS does is we do include everyone into the programs, and as per the international standards. So we allow them to come to our programs from advanced levels, any stream, even 3 simple passes is enough, as well as even if they don't have 3 simple passes, they could do a foundation and get into the program, because internationally they recognize that. Okay. So then what we did was, once they are in, we should make it accessible for all the students. So we made it, we make sure that the programs are available right throughout the country, as well as our main center is in Valisara. It's just outside the Keravalapitia highway inter-exchange, so it's very accessible. And the second thing is, how do you make it accessible to in a situation like COVID? So with our learner management system, we managed to do that as well. Then how you make it affordable? That's the other thing. So we deliver programs at 1/10 of the cost of the international programs. And we create this through this platform. They do about 3 years in Sri Lanka and the final year and respective centers. So because of that, they can cut down about 60% of the general cost. That's a huge cost saving. And then we also have given them a choice. Once they complete, they can go to either Finland, Australia or UK or anywhere in the world, basically these 3 countries. And to do all this, they can't just go after A-levels. We have to transform them to international standards. That's what Dr. Tinusha would elaborate on that more.
So as the doctor mentioned before, the students at IIHS are put through this transformative process. Can you briefly touch on that, please?
Yes, to answer that question, I think I should first mention the vision of IIHS, because the vision of IIHS is to transform people, community and landscape. So obviously we expect our students to get transformed as well in a way that they can one day become a global citizen. One day they should be able to face global level challenges. To elaborate this little bit more, generally our students are exposed to a very traditional education system where we can see a kind of a teacher-centric classroom. In this type of classroom, generally students are spoon-fed with information and knowledge. We cannot see any active engagement from the students. So because of that, unfortunately, students' thinking pattern is little narrow. So at this point, generally, their left brain, only the left brain is working. We call this as convergent thinking pattern. But if we can make sure our students are exposed to a different learning environment, where student-centric learning environment is there, generally, in that type of a learning environment, students are more active. They become responsible for their own learning. So that is what we expect. If we can provide that type of environment, generally students' right brain start working. They start to think beyond the box, out of the box. We call this as divergent thinking pattern as well. In fact, this is what we expect as a transformation of a student of IIHS.
I'm Rashmali, a registered nurse in Australia. To be like me, call 0114 65 1144.
So that's extremely interesting. This divergent thinking pattern or this left brain, right brain synergy is a very interesting concept. Can you elaborate a bit more for everyone at home?
IIHS, we work as an international university learning center. So because of that, we have got the opportunity to get exposed to different types of modern education systems, because we work with many highly recognized international partner universities. So our teachers have got exposed to that. So because of that, our classroom environment is little different. As I mentioned earlier, the classrooms are kind of student-centric. In addition to that, we use different techniques such as collaborative learning, where students get together and go for one particular goal. Thirdly, use of technology in education. Generally, these young kids are always with their mobile phones, laptops, so on. So what we do is we provide our education in that particular platform. That is why our students use a learning management system for last 7 to 8 years, I guess. So the teaching environment that we have provided to our students is kind of enjoyable. Then all the students will start enjoying their classroom.
I am Ayodhya, a registered physiotherapist in UK. To be like me, call 0114 65 1144.
I would like to highlight another point as well, that is how we see our students. Generally, students will come to us maybe with their basic qualifications, so we would see them as A-level pass students. But we would like to see a different angle as well. What is their learning style? Because students might have different types of learning style. They would like to listen to something and learn. There will be a student who would like to watch something and learn. So that is why at the point of enrollment, we make sure through a particular small test, we ensure that we get to know their learning style as well, so that we can approach students accordingly. So those are different techniques that we use in our classrooms.
So, Dr. Kitsiri, what are the environments that IIHS provides to its students to create a better learning environment?
Now in a transformational process, Dr. Dinusha mentioned what we do at the academic level. So you need academic qualifications, academic transformation. So I'm going to talk about something different.
Okay.
One thing is that in the 21st century, the environment is changing. Now you can see everything is changed in a second. So in future there will be more challenges for the youth. So how can we orientate or transform kids in order to face those challenges? So what we did was, first thing, for you to do anything, you have to know English. So our English knowledge at the beginning, we will gradually improve their English knowledge. By the time they complete the program, for them to get into the international job, they have to have IELTS standards of 7. So we have to gradually improve. So we have been doing that very well. And secondly, today's world is on evidence based. Now we all know without evidence, if we take a decision, it can really have a ripple effect, good or bad, based on your evidence. The COVID is a very good example. So therefore, we train our students on research, to do research. So typically a student by the time they complete 3 years with us, they at least publish 2 to 3 publications, local as well as international publications. So that would be very advantageous for them when they go out of the country. So thirdly, what we do is, now all these students, though they are in the classroom, they should finally they go and work in the environment. So they should know to work with the community, especially healthcare professionals. So we engage them in community projects. So typically a student would engage in minimum 2 very good addressing some burning issues in the community. So they engage in community projects.
Okay.
Then another thing is that if you are going to go into an international environment, if you are going to work as an international healthcare professional, you should start respecting international norms and conditions. So what we do is, we have international faculty, as well as we have students and staff exchange program.
Okay.
So with that, they would engage from the year 1 with the international students as well as international professionals. So therefore, they will slowly but surely get into the like a global citizen, the norms and values of a global student. Then finally, what we do is, these students, once they work in the healthcare environment, they'll have to work as a team. And then you have a lot of challenges, then there's a leader should emerge. So we create an environment to improve their leadership and team building skills. So we have many committees, student committees, that would support the areas that I mentioned.
Dr. Dinusha, so this seems very interesting. So just want to know, what are the programs that IIHS offers, and what are the eligibility or like the requirements to enter?
Well, we bring a range of programs mainly related to healthcare. starting from nursing, biomedical sciences, physiotherapy, and also in health administration. In addition to that, we bring programs related to education as well. So the students who have completed the advanced level exam in any stream can apply for these particular programs. So we bring these programs in two modes. One mode would be they can start their first couple of years with IIHS in Sri Lanka, and they can move out of the country and complete their final year in their bachelor's program in one of the affiliated universities. In addition to that, if there is a student who would like to complete the program in Sri Lanka, they can complete the program in Sri Lanka as well, because we are bringing international level qualification, bachelor's level qualification, where we deliver the entire program at IIHS, so the students can complete the program in Sri Lanka as well.
Dr. Kitsiri, so the last question would be, what should parents consider or take into consideration rather when looking for higher education requirements for their kids?
It's a very important question. Initially we'll have to really look at what are the jobs available in next 5 years. By the time after A levels, when you get into a program, it takes about 4 to 5 years for you to get a job. So you have to really look at the jobs which are sustainable, which is available, which will be available in next 5 to 10 years minimum. So once you know that, then you have to find a program to acquire those jobs. I'm talking about mainly international jobs, because local universities are producing enough to cater the local environment, industry. So what we are looking at, foreign environment as our founder's vision, to export skilled labor. So what they have to do is to select a program that would allow them to obtain these jobs. Thirdly, they have to look at an organization which is providing either foreign or local. So what we do is we allow them to give them a time. We give about 3 years for them to adapt and transform, then go to the foreign countries. So that organization, we will have to look at the history of the organization. How is it, how long has been existed. We have about 20 years we have been there as a very sustainable organization, and also look at the outcome of the organization. So what are how many students are out there, are they doing well? Now the global scenario, you can easily get into internet and find out all these things, and then finally they should look at the return on investment. How much of money that you have to put in order to get the particular outcome. So in healthcare, you spend about maybe 4 to 5 billion rupees as healthcare program, and then finally they could pay back within a couple of months. So that kind of a return that you get, because internationally a nurse would get at least 800,000 rupees in rupee terms per month, so as the other healthcare professionals. So therefore I invite all of you to look into these healthcare programs, and which has international outcomes, and you can be a global citizen and a global traveler.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kitsiri and Dr. Dinusha, for sharing your insights on, first off, the healthcare industry and what it offers, and overall what we must take into consideration when we're looking for higher education requirements. So that's about it from me. Thank you for joining us. I am Nisuri Gurusinghe, signing off.